Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a harder battle. This quote can remind us to cultivate being kind to others, because not being kind and treating other people with ignorance, disrespect, or other hurtful behavior will just add to the load they already carry and rob them of the energy they may need to survive. We may never know which battles people are fighting or which load they carry. It may be living with a disease we don't see, making their life much harder than ours. It may be coping with and trying to overcome painful memories, for example, caused by the recent loss of a loved one. It may be financial struggles caused by adverse life events for which they cannot even be held responsible. We all fight our battles, and we know how hard it can be to keep fighting, not give up, and see some light when there is only darkness. And being aware of this, someone we meet could be fighting an even bigger battle. A battle that is so big we cannot imagine. So let ourselves be reminded by this quote to be kind to others, because our kindness will make them stronger. We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. From this quote, we can learn that it is a real tragedy when adults knowingly choose not to see things as they truly are, although it is easily visible to them. Instead, they might stick to old prejudices and norms. Children just do not know many things yet, so it is easy for them to turn a blind eye, so we have to forgive them. It highlights the role and importance of education, as it enriches the understanding of people, of themselves, and the world. Due to a lack of education, we may miss the chance to enjoy this beauty of life. We keep living with inherent fear, not overcoming stereotypes. Education enables us to think more flexibly and reflect on our own opinions. It improves the quality of our lives and collectively leads to social benefits for individuals and society as a whole. Never discourage anyone who continually makes progress, no matter how slow. This quote can remind us that everyone who tries to make progress in life deserves encouragement instead of discouraging words from us. Even if the progress made does seem small and nearly invisible to us, even if we think we would make quicker progress confronted with the same challenge, because everybody makes progress at their speed, and as long as movement is maintained, progress is made, and eventually big goals will be achieved through many little steps, one tiny step at a time. Those who tell the stories rule society. Stories are very powerful things, They make us laugh and they make us cry. They have the power to change the way we think and act because we're emotional creatures while being rational ones. We may think that telling a good story is easy, but it doesn't always come easy. Good storytellers spend years refining their craft, or, like politicians, employ professional writers to write the stories for them. This quote makes us aware of the power of good storytelling. And like any powerful instrument, it can be applied for good but also evil. Let us recognize when we are caught up in a story and get swept away by the emotions the story creates in us. Maybe we have to look behind the facade of the story, find emotional distance, and ask ourselves what the true intentions of the storyteller are. Are they good or are they evil? The beginning is the most important part of the work. Sometimes we must do something, but we are afraid to start it. Maybe we lack the experience for it. Perhaps we will be uncomfortable and therefore want to avoid it. We contemplate for months why something may not be possible and find many problems and reasons not to get started. Does this sound familiar? Overcoming this mental barrier can be challenging. Making the first step may be the biggest challenge to achieving a particular goal. But only those who take the courage to take the first step will ever know if the problems we created in our minds are real and how big they really are. Yes, maybe they exist, but they may be easy to overcome. And if we are afraid to start, let's seek guidance from our friends. Maybe we can learn from them because they have been facing similar challenges in the past. Perhaps they want to walk the path with us and provide valuable guidance. This quote reminds us that beginning is the most essential part of any work, and it may be the most challenging part as well. Let's take the first step, or we will never know. Caring about the happiness of others, we find our own. From this quote, we could learn that while we are focused on finding our own happiness, true happiness may come by bringing joy to others. Because when we care more about the well-being of others, then it could lead us to a lower ceiling of happiness for ourselves. If we provide joy to others, we come from a place of loving, and seeing others profit from our actions of kindness will fill our hearts with joy as well. But we should be aware that extremes are always dangerous, and forgetting to care for our happiness while focusing solely on making other people happy is a good example. Often we think that caring about our feelings, wants, needs, or desires is selfish. Let's understand that selfishness is the other extreme, where we don't care about the well-being of others at all. So we should strive to develop a balance to remain healthy. Only if we are healthy can we continue giving happiness to others and let this act of kindness contribute to our own well-being.